Agricultural State Council. There, I became the director. Thank God for, because I learned 25 names were submitted to replace him. But the minister said he's qualified to go ahead with it. So I was there till I retired. But you see, I discovered that these days, when we are talking about business, even in agriculture, thank God for the man I worked under, the minister. He made sure that he exposed us to a lot of things. Thank God he's also a pastor, Akewumi Adeshina. He introduced us to a lot of things. In fact, 3 of us, he will call us to his house. We will be there till 1 a.m., 2 a.m., talking to us that we are going to step on toes. Stepping on toes, you know what it means in a place. In fact, my coming from Bonu to Abuja was the grace of God, because the one that brought me down was the director of human resources. And when the minister said, oh, this position is meant for Northerners, not for Southerners, what are you coming to do? We are not going to, openly, when we are holding the interview, the director of human resources just said, so he now said it in Hausa, and I heard, and I know what he said. And Samantha, the minister, said, Hakaike? Say, yes, that is it. He said, Shikena. That's how I came down to Abuja from Maiduguri. So everything that, like my brother said, everything that we are working on, the knowledge of whom God is and what God can do is very, very important. If we know it, we will not gamble too much. Not that we will not gamble at all. One thing that I know is that many of us dabble into business that we don't know what that business is all about. And I think that was what is happening in agriculture. When we got there, in fact, I said something one day that they are supposed to kick me out. Because I told them, I said, look, when we are talking of agriculture, agriculture is for policy and creating environment for food production. There is need for another ministry that will cater for actual food production. I think I've said this one in many occasions, and that's what I was going about with. Our farmers, they were punishing themselves. We travel around the whole world. In Tanzania, if you see farmers, when they come back around 12:1, and they go for badminton and all this volleyball kind of thing. Look at our farmers. They are bending like professors who are in the universities, because they don't have all this thing. What is the problem with them? They are not using the right inputs. That's the thing. They are not using the right inputs. They are using grains to plant grains as compared to planting seeds. When you plant seeds, you will reap like 6 times what somebody that planted grain reaps. And that is it. So we have a lot of things that are not well organized. This man brought sanity into that sector. And by the time we were even leaving, many of us were happy that at least we should be able to encourage those who are coming. I came down from Abuja to Oyo State here to come and lecture them on how to really run agribusiness. You know what they told me? They said, Oga, they have told us this thing before, but you people did not allow it to work. I said, look, I am not there. I'm from Makemani here, from Oyo. I'm not from Kebbi or from this thing. I came because my minister said I should come to talk to you. These things are free. Collect the forms, fill it, submit it, and you will get your right inputs at the right time. But you see, like I said, and that thing is even happening, even right now. I think Sile was there when I gave lectures on agri something here. I advised that these are the things that we need to do. See, be determined that this is what you want to do. Get your mindset clear. Many of us, we want to, this is what my friend is doing, I want to do it. You are wasting your time. Is that thing going to serve the community you belong? Let's be problem solvers, not just, I want to go into business. This water business that I dabble into, I never knew anything about it. We only prayed with my wife. I said, come, after our retirement, what do you want to do? She couldn't tell me exactly. She said she doesn't want to go far. She wants to be earning daily income. I said, I know what to do. So I was thinking on petroleum, petrol station, or that kind of thing. Thank God, when I came down, I met a brother, a younger brother, who advised me. I didn't know when the whole thing was completed. I was just sending money. Do this, do that. But you see, like I said, when you put God first, even when you are about to make mistake, the Lord will direct your path. And that is very, very important. That's why I said I don't want to go back to what he has said. It is as a result of God leading us to do what we are doing today. I've never regretted. Many of you know me. When it comes to all this water business, what this business, that business, I don't care. I take it easy. A general told me, he said, we are friends. He's a younger brother to me. He said, please, when we're in service, we have struggled enough. Now, whatever your hands cannot reach, don't use gogo to pull it down. And that actually helped me. It helped me. To the point that even health-wise, what will have been forgotten? But because of the way we have taken life, for almost 3 months, I could not move out of my house. But today, to God be the glory, I'm the one speaking. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The next time the microphone will be going to our daddies, they will be telling us particularly their experiences with younger people of today. And you'll be speaking from the perspective of the values then that you feel that are lacking now and what we need to be doing as young people to position ourselves. But before then, we'll be hearing from the younger people. Now, a round of applause for them. First, Sister Lola is going to... You are already in employment. You want to know what are the things you should know. What are the pitfalls or the mistakes you should avoid. What are the kind of skills? I won't show.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Okay, there's a bit of intimidation here. Sitting beside, our daddies it's a privilege that I do not take for granted. Thank you for, calling me today this. So briefly, I'll just be talking about, like you said, starting a career or when you're in a career, the early parts. Basically, career, what do you understand by that? It's, for me, I would say that it's a job or it's an overtime and that has the opportunity of possibility of growth. Because for young people now, we have a lot of people that cannot differentiate between having a career and having a job. That is something that I also went through. And when you're starting out, you have that, I've seen young people of late, I would see them during graduation and they would write, end of school. If I ever write anything again, make I shake, all those kind of writings, and I just laugh because those are things that I also went through. At a point when I was finishing, I felt like that was it for me. I was telling my friends that if I read newspaper, you people should catch me. Like, I was done. Not knowing that, really, that's just the point. That's just the beginning. And a lot of us don't get the opportunity to have people that would guide us, in that early part, to tell us what we need to look out for, what to expect, and, how to plan ourselves, basically. So some people go into jobs that, because it's just a job, it's just a career, not looking at where our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, what our journeys, or what we expect. I'm happy with the way we started today. We talked about success and, what success meant. So I would want to put a question forward because this is a question that I had to answer later in my career, which would have done me better if I had answered it at the beginning of my career. And the question is, what is career growth to you? For a lot of people, career growth means different things. For some people, it means money, it means salary, salary increase. For some people, it means responsibilities. For some people, it means title. For some people, it means service, the opportunity to make other people's life better. You are the only one that can determine what this means to you. For me, ordinarily, it will have meant service. But at the time I started, because I did not know better, my CV was submitted by a 16-year-old. And for some reason, God made it possible for me to be called, even though ordinarily I wasn't even looking to that career. and I've still been on that job for the past almost 8 years now. When it started out as, just waking up and going to work. But along the line, I felt like something was missing, and I felt like there needed to be more. So when I heard Daddy say it, I was like, oh, okay, I was not alone. I felt like there had to be more to life than just, waking up, going to work, going home, and, So I started to really, really think. And this was when I felt like, okay, what exactly is that thing that God is calling me to do? This is over-abused. They would say your calling. The fact that calling doesn't mean that it cannot exist in a secular world, in a secular work environment. So basically, if God is calling you to service, you can actually serve in that secular work that you do. So it's important that as starters or as young people, we understand what God is really calling us to do. And when you think deeply, you'll find out that whatever God is calling you to always aligns with your strength. So this helps you to avoid a lot of, just going about in circles. Sometimes you see people who are supposedly achieved, and you'll be wondering, what are they still looking for? Or you hear stories of people who are, in your mind, you assume that they are successful, and you hear them of commit suicide, and you're like, Kilonwa. But the truth is, that growth, that thing that gives everybody contentment differs. So in that place where you are looking to start out, or in that place that you are working at the moment, I feel like it's important that we all go back to, at every point in time. Some people can do it yearly. Some people do it at the end of every year. Some people do it at the beginning of every year. Some people do it every 5 years, depending on what works for it. You have to go back and say, what exactly have I done in the past? How am I faring? Psychologically, mentally, am I really on that path that I feel will take me to where I want to be? But you can only do this when you have an idea of where you want to be. But the funny thing is, where you want to be can change. A while back, I felt like I wanted to be a lawyer. Like I would be able to argue my case, brilliantly. Then along the line, I felt I was bored and, maybe law wasn't for me. And at work, I felt like, okay, I like to solve problems. So I started out as customer service person. Then 4 years into that, I started to feel like, okay, there could be more. So I wasn't feeling so fulfilled. And I felt, okay, relationship management is still, So basically, those are mistakes that we do. We don't ask questions. We don't seek counsel. And unfortunately, we find ourselves in a society or an area where these things are not emphasized. In school, you don't get people to talk to you about careers. You have people who are successful around you. You don't have the right conversation with them. So communication is really, really important. Somebody once told me that if you find yourself with the most important person in the world, the most influential person in the world, and you find yourself trapped in in an elevator, and you have just like a few minutes, how quick the elevator will get to the floor you're going, and you get the opportunity to talk to themselves. Do you have that speech ready? I think it's called elevator speech. Do you have it ready? Can you, in that couple of seconds, talk to the person and talk in a way that the person would remember? Or are you just going to talk about irrelevancies? Because in the workplace too, this is what happens. You find people who have the power to influence things that really matter in that place that would make the place better. And I've heard people say that there's no place for politics with our faith. I would beg to disagree because I believe that there are people in the Bible who used politics to achieve, that which God has called them to do. So basically, as young people, but personally, one of the things I've had to learn by force is to be able to use my voice, and also sometimes learn when not to use my voice, but also let my actions speak and show my faith to be able to make some sort of influence or positive change around me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sir. Now we go to the businessman. As I told us before you came, I'd been telling them your story, how you had been here from a long time ago. I don't want to say the age, and how God has helped you to grow many different businesses, and you have been able to pivot and move from one thing to the other. Please, can you tell us your life's journey as an entrepreneur? What are the things that you feel that young people, the youth of church, I'm using that expression deliberately, youths of church, what are the things they need to know about life, about doing business, and about interacting with customers? So, Mr. Ojini Ojebode.
Thank you. Good evening. My name once again is Ojeni Ojebode. I don't know what to say. Well, I give glory and honor to God to be here. I once, who I am. Okay, let me tell you my story. I joined this church 2000. Alone, I just walk in, and I do come to church every day, every Sunday. I'm a normal Sunday service person. Just come and go back home. But who I am. When I finished my secondary school, I just sat down at home. I said, what do you want to do now? And I just wake up that, what can I learn within 6 months? And I will be on my own. I just go to where I normally buy my hair. And I have to go and meet the guy. Oh, hey, serious. You are a customer. How will you tell me I want to go and learn? Because we are age mates. I said, I want to learn. He said, no, it's not possible. I said, I want to learn. He said, when did you want to start? I said, I will start by July 1. And I was maybe like June 17 or 18. On July 1, I was there around 8:05. And the guy opened the door. He was even taking the clothes. Oh yeah, Joko, let me barb for you. I said, no, I'm resuming. And he's like, are you serious? I said, yes. He said, it's a lie. And I took the broom, sweep, mop everything, this and that. And it was like, you will not come on the second day. The second day I was there. 1 month was there. Do you know, within 3-4 months, I know how to barb. Because first thing is that I was determined that I want to know this thing. I don't have a father. I lost my dad in 1987. I lost my mom in 1997. So there's nobody to take care of me. So you have to know what you are doing. So I was determined, and I go there. And I think I did freedom December 2. They won't do freedom for me. I was laid down there praying. On my freedom, they had just my mind. Oh, we thank God. I have my own shop. If I have this stylist and body jar, you hold the air, I barb style. There's no style I cannot barb till date. I'm telling you. Then when I have my own shop, what can I do? Because sometimes you just sit down, nobody will even come from morning to evening. They will want to barb. How can this week be going like this? Okay, I learned how to go and cut flowers. Do you know I used to cut flowers of this church before? Some of the flowers here was when I planted it. I used to cut flowers and they will give me money. So in the morning I will go early in the morning around 6:37. By 8:30 I will be in my shop back. So I have to hide again that what can I add to this thing? I started selling clippers. I can mention like 10 people in this church that is using my clipper today. Reverend Tujita is still using my clipper today. And I used to barb for him. On blessed memory, taking Kalejaye, I used to go and barb for him at home. Sometimes they used to come. On blessed memory, taking Oniti. I sell clipper for them and they are using it. So I have to upgrade myself. So I used to publish my clipper on the newspaper, Punch, every Tuesday. So one day we just buy clipper with full kits. I will put clothes, I will put shaving something, I will put clip. So one day they call me, I want to buy clipper. How much I will buy the clipper? Like 1.5, put clothes, this thing. All the pack, me like 2.5. And I will sell it for 5,000. On that Tuesday, I will not sleep, I will not sit down in my shop. I will just be going from one office to office, I will just be going. One of our church men have called me before that I want to buy clipper. He did not know that I was the one. Because I just put my phone number, clipper. And he called me. From there, I moved to selling card, selling phone. And I think, okay, fine, I want to just upgrade again. What can I do? You understand? But I jot some things here. Believe in yourself. That's one thing. Start small. I start, you don't even have anything. I don't have. So learn to start small. Don't wait for something big. I want to have 1 million. I want to have 2 million before I start. Please start small. When you start small, you know how to manage that small that you have to become big. The other thing is, be determined to go through some challenges. Don't be like, once you start your business, everything will be smooth. It's a lie. Especially in this Nigeria. It's a lie. You face some challenges. But when you have faith in God, when you believe in God, when you pray to God, you will overcome. The other thing is, do not give up. Don't give up. Me that don't have parents, don't have money to give me money. Stop it. Just be determined. That will do what? I will make it. Do you know there are some people that they have parents, their father have everything, and they did not achieve anything. So the other thing is integrity. Integrity. Even till now, I don't spend my clients' money as a surveyor. I have an account for all the landlord and the tenants. I don't have the mobile app. I only use check. I will not touch it. Integrity. What belongs to A, give it to him. You say something about me that Mr. Aniya, if you not give your commission or if you don't finish the job, I will not release the commission. Because once you release the commission and the tenant maybe is not taking the house again or this and that, you have to return the money back. And I will tell you to repair. And I'm giving you money. Until I hand over the key, the integrity, my hair about my job is my hair. I will barb for you perfectly. I will shape it. Matter 4. I will wash it. Yes, I do wash. I think it was taking care of it. I said, gentleman, foreign barber salon. You know, normal barb low cut. Sometimes I put pattern, if you can remember. So later I stop. That I should not put pattern again. You understand? So I wash it, I will put shampoo, put towel. I have 2 towel. One to first clean the shampoo, second one to dry it up. And you feel like, what do I want to wash? I just package myself. I'm telling you, I just package myself. The other thing is, try to be diversified. Don't just stay one way, where I'm a barber and I have to stand on barbing. I sell card, I sell phone, I barb, I sell clothes. Some people will just come to my shop. What they will buy is just that barbing clothes alone. How much I will buy it at Ogopa? Maybe like 350, and I will sell for 15. How much I buy with shaving something? Maybe like 400. Some people buy it 15. Some people buy it 2,000. Some people buy it 1,000. It depends as I level you. You understand? I'm doing business. You understand? And I think that, okay, can I continue like this? And the challenges I have is most of my clients, they are educated people. So I was forced that I have to go back to school. I have to go back to school. Because I'm seeing that, okay, people have been growing and they have been leaving me behind. Wow. Do you know, 2016, yeah, so 2016, I gained admission to Polyvalent as an essay surveyor of value. I've been running that business. And one of these church members just told me, Ronnie, you have been doing your agents. You need to have the certificate of what you are doing. His name is Deacon Motosho, Bro Motosho. And I said, and it's true. I have my paper. I just go to school and I finish within 3 years. So today now when I call essay surveyor of value, I call you, I'm among. And I just feel like, okay, and now they see myself as a small boy coming up. So this is how it is. So this seminar now, barbing salon, they normally come for seminar every year. And I will still barb in front of it before I left. I will call one of them, barb. There's no style I cannot baptizing you, punk, 3 step, 2 step. I know all those things. You understand? So that's just it. So please, I just beg them, try to upgrade yourself. Don't feel I'm comfortable, I'm okay. What are people doing? Go to social media. Sometimes I look at some style on the internet. Okay, this is how they barb this one. This is how they barb this one. Okay, fine, yes. Okay, so try to upgrade yourself and know what you are doing. I pray the Lord will help us. Praise God.
I think that deserves another round of applause. Thank you very much, sir. I know that we don't have too much time, but we would be bringing some of our speakers to our WhatsApp group. I've not asked their permission yet, but I'm just saying that so that we can continue this conversation, as well as some other things that we'd have to do to learn about success. But now we want to hear the advice of our fathers. Sir, just 3 things that you think that the youth of today need to pay attention to. It doesn't have to, just 3 things that you think, okay, in our own generation we saw this. We don't see it anymore, yet it's an important principle for success. Speaking your opinion, sir.
Thank you very much. I told you earlier about failings. But things that will make you to be very successful is value. What did I say? You must have value to exchange. You must create value. You must, in anything, you must have value. Anyone that does not have value should not expect any modicum of success. Value. In everything you do, value. By the way, brother Ni is I'm one of his clients. And each year I know how much money I expect from him. You must have value. It's no longer available. You must have personal value. Personal value. Things you believe that will give glory to God and will be attractive to people. But these days we have taken that for granted. For 6 years, 2 of my daughters graduated. They didn't earn any kobo from formal work. But neither of the 2 of them depended on us for any stipends. Get it clear? And that is the truth. They are alive. In fact, Busayo will see it as condescending to collect any money from us. But we will always find a way to do what? To get money to them. Because they knew from the word go that value is what we sell a man. Even if they are selling eggs, they will make more money than their peers. Even if they are ironing clothes, because they know value. What he has given us tonight is what? Is value. You must create value in whatever you do. To explain value will take us all day. But you must do things differently. Your world is different from mine. Okay? I didn't have to do this kind of struggle. Not at all. Things were laid out for us. Like I told you, I left school 81. I got jobs. I have always been one job or the other. But one thing that kept me going is value. Nobody said, go back to school. I did masters. I had 2 masters. I did a PhD. I did other courses along the line. Value. Self-development. You people, you wait that things it comes by accident, by the way. You are what you are by the dint of, the grace of God upon your life and the value that you are bringing to bear to any system. You must always learn that what value, innovation, creativity, ideas, because it's a competitive world. Unilag alone this year graduated more than 12,000 students, more than 12,000, with 360 first class. Picture yourself in that setup, and that's only Unilago. The world has become very competitive, very, very. Then, secondly, my sister mentioned it. Who am I? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What can I do? If Bukun can walk the whole of this estate, Busayo, by the time Busayo climbs down any stairs, she's packed up. So they knew what will make their life easier. Busayo was making cake, all right? And she was earning decent living. Ibukun started with, with teaching a school. They were paying her 60,000 naira. When she started her own business, the first fellow she employed was getting 50,000 naira. What she was being paid. Do you see the difference? She was in unemployment. I said, this is not a life. This cannot be a life. 50,000 naira. She started sewing the very first month. The fellow she employed in my garage in Lagos, in my garage. I mean, the garage is still there. Her stuff is still there. The first fellow she engaged was 50,000 naira per month within a very short time. She had. So if you have value, they will look for you. These days, you look for relatives, you look for relations. God has deposited in everyone here capabilities, ideas that will do what? That can sell anywhere in the world. Another thing is, please, exposure. I told you I was very naive. World does not start and end in Lighthouse. It's a global village. I read, and again I read. Ask me what is on today in UK. What is trending? I'll tell you. Exposure. You don't have to travel to UK to know what is happening in UK. Be exposed to, scan the environment. Do you understand me? Scan the environment. And you see the opportunities. There are better opportunities now than in my days. You please contradict me if I'm wrong. There are better opportunities. Jobs was chasing us in those days. Now people are setting up their own jobs and they are making millions. I was privileged to listen to the vice president about people who are they are making their millions, and so is everyone here is capable. If you are sensitive enough, if you can scan in your environment, if you can leverage on all the opportunities available to you, the sky is your limit. Being a Christian, I started that. The first thing that really brought me low was I didn't know the Lord. But now you know the Lord. What did I say? The sky is your limit. But number one, you must have value. Something people want to take. And like she said, it must be things that you do, you love to do very, very easily. 3 things and I'm done. Number one, he has spoken about integrity. Number one is be true to yourself. Be true. I've walked out of some jobs because I realized they don't belong to me. It's not about money. And you said it again. It's service. Service. And God is so faithful in his ways. If you diligently serve, the reward is bound to come. The harvest will certainly come. Integrity, hard work, and thirdly is discipline. There are some things my peers will do I will never do. There are some things my peers, if I start mentioning names of people I graduated about the same with and where they are, but when we meet, they still give you your own regard. It's not about how much money you have in the bank. It's the quality of your life and the kind of responsibility you have brought to bear. My desire is to be a good father. Okay? My desire is to be a good follower of Jesus Christ. In all the lineup of things I look forward to God for, money is the least. But you know what? I still have it. I still do what? I still have it because it's the plan of God for our lives. It's the plan of God for your life. And thirdly, I would stop now, is that don't look at Baba's life. My son likes you very much. Maybe he has never said it. Chart your own course. You can't be him. I can't be my father. My son cannot be me. In fact, we disagree on many things. But as believers, we owe it a responsibility to be successful. Look at one another. You owe it to God and to yourself to be successful. Then the question is, at what? Lay hold of eternal life. Because all the other things are passing. Okay? They will do what? They will pass. Nobody will ever ask me, did you own a Rolls Royce or did you own a car? What is important is what? Lay hold of eternal life. Many people have succeeded in their career, in everything, but they have missed what is most important. Even in your career goals, in your businesses, in your life, anything that will compromise that is not for you. Bless you in Jesus' name.
Thank you, sir. A round of applause for that. Reverend is going to be speaking to us about managing relationships, sir. And any other comments you want to say, sir? But managing relationships, particularly in relationships with the seniors, people that are ahead of us. Not necessarily people that are older than us. Because some of us are in jobs where our superiors are people that we are older than or that we even have more qualifications than. You have already mentioned that you had such experiences. So how do we manage those kind of relationships, as well as the relationships behind us, as something that would help us in our quest for success? As well as any other comments, sir, because you can have your closing remarks as well.
Thank you very much. I think some of the things I had in mind, my brother mentioned them. But essentially, you see, I want all of us to be aware that there are more opportunities now. Now. But what is important is we lack mentors. That is unlike then. When somebody discovers that this is where you are good at, the person will pick you up, give you advice, do this and do that. But these days, I don't know whether we caused it, the younger ones, the younger generation. Whether we caused it, I don't know. Let me tell you, where I work, there was a time I needed money. How much did I need? 15,000. And I went to meet my boss. Please, include my name in the list of those who are traveling to states so that I can get this 15,000. He said he has submitted his own brother's names. I said, okay, no problem. So they left on Wednesday. On Thursday, they just came to call me that our attention is needed in Director of Finance Office. What for? By the time I got there, they said, because of what people said about you concerning IT, because I went to do master's in, postgraduate diploma in computer science at Mina. And that, I knew it before, but I tried to develop myself. So he now said, they said they should employ internal consultant that will supervise the people that will do what the ministry wanted to give them. I said, internal consultant, I don't know what you mean. I said, okay, no problem. By the time we started talking, honestly, I just thank God that I was there. I was asking them questions they cannot answer. The people, the consultants. So at the end of the day, I sat in my office and the messenger of my director of finance just came. And by the time I look at what is in the envelope, I found that there were 250,000. I said, what is this for? He said, that is sitting allowance. I said, let me just continue to sit, because looking for 15,000, now I have 250,000. So one other thing is, please, 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 you see, don't envy anybody. In your community, think of what you can do to become a problem solver. Even here in this church, look at my brother. When Deacon Okeni was saying he's one of his clients, I'm also a client only. I've taken him to all the places I have something in Oyo State. He knows everything, you see. But one thing I like in him is that he will never be satisfied. He keeps on moving, thinking of what else and what. Now, please, whether we like it or not, let's create opportunity for us. Look at Baba Debo, he said one thing one day. He said, as he is, he has a pastor. Baba Debo is saying he has somebody that advises him, that he talks to him, that if it's this, is that, and the man calls him, that's the end. That's the end. So please, let us know that irrespective of what we think we are, let us have somebody that can talk to us, so that at least we will pipe down. And it will help us a lot. I have said it, we have lost the era of mentors. Mentoring is the key. It's not only counselors. What we do in counseling now is classroom counseling. We need real counseling where somebody will pick you, and that is very akin to mentoring. You can mentor somebody, but look for those who are qualified in the congregation or in your community that can mentor and advise you on what to do. Please, I don't want to say this, but I always say that when you are thinking of any business, don't think that it is what is left over that you want to save. Save before you think of leftover. Do your calculation very well. And whatever you save a proportion. Me and my wife, that's our style. It is when we have saved whatever we want to save, whatever is left over, we start distributing. But if you say you want to save what is left, at times nothing will be left, unless you discipline yourself and you say, okay, this is what you want to do. Then please, I want us to have a mindset of Christ. Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. See, if what you don't want people to do to you now, don't do it to anybody higher up there. He was saying that I should talk about relationship between supposedly boss or senior. Whatever you don't want people to do to you, please find a way of not doing it. I don't know who put it in our wall. So, these kidnappers, they kidnapped the man and they asked him to bring ransom, and he took the ransom to them. When he got there, he said, please, can you give me 100,000 out of this money? They said, what do you want to do with it? He said, I want to give it to my friend. Who is your friend? He mentioned the name. And by the time he mentioned the name, they said, okay, we are going to show you. It is this same man that told us that you are taking your yes, you are collecting your retirement, that we should kidnap you and get the money. They went and brought that man, and he said, please kill him. See gun, shoot him. He said, no, I won't. And the people killed the man himself. So please, all these things we are doing, let us know that what we don't want people to do for us, we should not attempt it. That will help us a lot. In wherever, whether in the office, whether in our working place, wherever we are. The one that the Lord has given to me, the little I can do is, I will not cheat you. I will make sure you get your right at the right time. If I'm not comfortable with your service, I will tell you, look, oh, you are deviating, oh, there are a lot of things, oh, I can say that. But please, there are so many areas that we can tap into, that we are not tapping into, that the Lord will help us. Sile, let me stop here.
Please, if we have any questions, please, I want you to write it down. We will not have time to give you microphone to speak, but just write them down on sheets of paper. If you have them, we'll collect them. Mr. Niyi, you have dealt with a lot of family people, church people. Yes, sir. We'll take the ones that we can, but some of them we'll put them on the groups, and then they'll be answered there. That's why I suggested that we'll go to the groups. Or do we have anybody that wants to ask a question here? Yes, one person, yes. Have you written it down? Okay. Who else? 2 people. And 3 people, that's all. If whatever questions you have, please write it down. We will take it later. Because of time, we want to finish as early as possible. So, Sister, yes.
I heard him say not being satisfied. Why shouldn't you be satisfied at some points? Like, okay, I've acquired and I'm satisfied. Like, I'm okay with what I'm doing. Why shouldn't you be satisfied? I mean, you're supposed to rest.
So the hunger must have a point that it terminates. Sister Shola, we'll take your question as well. Already right.
One question is to Dadiola Tokun. You talked about mentorship, and I'm directing it to you. Can you mentor me? That's number one. That's a private question. No, it's a general question. No, I'm throwing it out to him openly. No, the reason I said so, no, sir. Sir, let me tell you the reason I said so, because there is a dearth of mentors now, as in so many people are busy. So it's not as if we don't have young people who want people to mentor them, but it seems nobody has time for anybody. So that was why I asked. So then my number 2 question is to Sister Lola that talked about career development, or to anybody, like, what are the things that we should do in order not to miss promotions in a workplace, and or to rise up quickly and make a success of it? Then yes. So my 3rd question is to Adaditu. You talked about training, that we should be trained, and I want to ask that on behalf of the youth in this church, can you please have a training program for youth in this church who are interested in agriculture?
Thank you, sir. I'm sure we'll put that in the works. That one is now compulsory. But the reason we want to take all the questions is because some of the speakers might also have perspective, so it won't be directed to me. So take it.
All right, thank you very much to all the panelists and everybody that came here. I want to take my leave from my dear friend, okay, Niyi everybody, all right? The church setup, the church climate generally encourages education as per the going to school and all that, of course, it's good. And one of the greatest challenges I found in my own line of work is finding Christians to work with. And I've tried, and thank God I'm getting grants, I'm getting more Christians to work with. But I've noticed that because we don't celebrate that kind of thing, we are losing. So perhaps for at least like in Lighthouse Baptist Church now, if somebody comes up with PhD, we do Thanksgiving, and then the church is like, hey. Now, I'm sure you didn't do Thanksgiving for your for your freedom. Do you understand? And quite a number of youths are losing out. Because these are areas, by the time I look at how much bricklayer is he earning on a daily basis, you see some guys in the banks are not making that money. You understand? And we don't celebrate these things that we are talking about. You create jobs. It looks very menial. My question now, yes, is how can we change this program shift? How can we this change of the mind? You spoke about it, Bukun spoke about it. I know them very well, all right? And one would expect that with your influence and with all that you have, they will just get a job on a platter of gold, and then, So when Ibuku started showing off clothes, I'm like, But really, like you confirmed now, she made her money there. But it's not celebrated in the church. So as much as there's a lot of market in the church for sewers, for fashion designers, we still take them outside. Because the best of the guys that do these works are not Christians. And it's simply because they are not taught. He started after secondary school. You can't compare it to somebody that started after, and then if you have finished masters, it will be difficult for you to sweep that shop. You understand? That's my. The second question has to do with professionalism. Now, we live in Nigeria where professionalism is really, for me, is not encouraged. I was with one of my very dear friend, a barrister, over the weekend, and we were talking in a forum, and he said he has not been to for like 2 years, that he just asked guys, that he has moved to Ibejuleki, you understand? Because, of course, he's making a lot of money from that aspect now. So, in Nigeria, you look at, okay, normally that job should be for an estate surveyor, Abi. And now you have a estate value, have a lawyer competing. Now, that's the lawyer you will end up going to meet to do agreement for you that has already taken all your business. Now, I'm an architect, I'm with a bricklayer. Okay? I did my research this year. You know? So you live in a world where this professionalism and debt and
in our community. And I felt I would not have time. So I picked him that he should be in charge of that community. What surprised me is that what I employed a cleaner to be doing in that property, the pastor opted for it, to be cleaning the rooms and take less than what the cleaner is taking. In fact, I just said, look, if this place is not going to promote your commission, why God has called you, it is better for you to leave. Because God will not say because you couldn't get something, that's why you opted for that. So let us place value. You see, it is very, very important. Very, very important. Sister Sola, I quite agree that we need mentors. There are so many of them. We need to agree, we need to come together, to talk together. If somebody is talking here,
okay, I will take Sister Shala's question first. The question